Yeah, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had.
Hello, beautiful. Welcome to High Vibe Honey. Imagine if I said something else. I didn't. For the week of the 18th of November, 2019. I'm your host, Gala Darling. I'm feeling very silly, especially in this wig. It's a real vibe. I kind of love this look. What do you think? Cast your votes now. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do. Please like these videos, share them with your friends. Let them have an energy boost for the week too. When I started doing these, which maybe is almost 2 years ago now, holy shit, I started them with the intention that it would be an energetic reset for your week, so that it was something you could watch on a Sunday or a Monday and feel powered up so you could go into your week feeling really, really good about things. And that's really what we've been doing for these past 2 years or so. So I hope that you enjoy it, and please do share it with your friends or anyone that you feel like could use some energetic, like Palo Santoing of their soul, you know, just spread the love. It's good for you. So this week, we are tapping on the fact that you're a fucking bad bitch. I mean, who doesn't love a bit of that? It's very exciting. And again, we are using the RuPaul tarot cards, which I love, and I feel are giving me some really good positive energy this week. I'm really vibing them. They're great.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 up sky, stick can get high with me, that's a deal, right?
Hi, sexy. I'm in my beautiful bathtub, and I wanted to let you know that I have a free, fabulous surprise for you. It is called The Bad Bitch Guide to Manifesting, and it is an amazing free video series that will teach you everything you need to know to manifest things super quickly, feel really good about what you want, stop obsessing, and move into a high vibe every single day. You can sign up at the link below, and I am so excited to see you over there.
Dollar be the bottom line, bottom feeding is out of line, turn your heart rate to a dotted line, yeah, my zodiac.
Our first card of the week is one of the best cards to ever do it, the Lovers, which is symbolized by Aquaria, which is really lovely. I don't feel like it fits necessarily, but hey, it's all good. Aquaria is great, and so are the Lovers. So the Lovers coming up is really about partnership. So if you are not in the market for a relationship, it could just be about great business partnerships or friendships or family bonds or something that are feeling really good. But honestly, this card is for people who are like single or just starting to date or in relationships. This is such a good omen. This is a sign that you are in something where it feels really even. It feels really balanced. There's clear communication. There's honesty. And you're probably building this thing in a way that feels slow and steady rather than rushed and chaotic and crazy. Because as we, well, not all of us know, but some of us know by now, when a relationship is rushed and it feels like highs and lows and la 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 la, it's probably not a healthy one. It's actually the ones that build slowly and gracefully and in a sane way that are truly healthy. And sometimes it can take us a while to learn that because we have these basically, not to get too psychological on you, but your family relationships set the bar for what relationships should be like as an adult. So if in your childhood your parents were in a chaotic relationship or they were emotionally immature, they couldn't regulate their feelings, you will generally tend to be attracted to someone who is like that because you're basically trying to recreate your childhood. So if you've healed some of that shit, I think that's why this card is coming up for you, because you're moving into this beautiful, new, healthy paradigm where it's love that really meets you where you're at, and you're both just operating in this really clear, beautiful way. The Lovers card coming up shows us that you know who you are and you know what you want. And that is really beautiful because a lot of us live a lot of our lives not really knowing who we are, not really knowing what we want. Or if we do know what we want, we're kind of ashamed of it. We try to pretend like we don't really want that. No, I'm chill. I don't need to lock it down. I'm cool, blah, 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 blah. And then it doesn't work anyway, because we really need to be clear about what we want and express it to people. And last week's tapping was all about the fact that it's okay to want what you want. And I think that doing that has helped us clear the way so that we can be really open in our relationships and say exactly what it is that we want. Because the truth of the matter is that if you do not tell people what you want, they can't give it to you. And if you don't feel good about what you want, you won't attract people who are in alignment with what you want. You'll attract people who are like wishy-washy, or they're not sure, or they're kind of 1 foot in and they're kind of 1 foot out. And honey, boo-boo, like life is too short for that shit. So let's just cut it out. So I love that this card has come up, because the other thing that it says is that we don't have to rush. We don't have to rush. Like, what a relief to hear that. We don't have to rush anything, in fact. Sometimes we look at everybody else and we see them like their business is skyrocketing and their body looks perfect and they just got engaged, or they just had a baby, or they bought a house, or whatever. And we're like, oh my God. And we get overwhelmed and we compare ourselves and we don't feel good. But the truth is that you are running your own race. And right now you might be like, fuck, I don't have any of those things. I have like 0 out of 5. And my best friend or this fucking Instagram influencer has all of those things. Here's the truth. Nobody's life is what it looks like on Instagram. That's number one. And the second thing is that when you look back at your life in 10 years' time, all of this will make sense. All of this stuff that you're going through, all of these lessons that you're learning, all of these potentially difficult or hard or challenging things that you're experiencing will all make sense to you. I promise. So don't sweat it. Don't compare yourself. You don't have to rush anything. Your timing is always divine and perfect. Our second card is the 5 of Swords, and it's a really unusual one to come up because it totally doesn't fit with the rest of this reading, and we just fucking had it the other day. So the 5 of Swords is about conflict, and it sometimes is about hollow victories. Like, you may have been successful in some fight or some throwdown or some, mental, emotional scrap, but it's a hollow victory. It doesn't feel good. It feels like, yeah, I won, but at what cost? And so this card is really imploring us to pick our battles. It's very easy to take the bait and like rise to the occasion and say something that we regret, or to feel the need to like win at all costs. And this especially comes up in relationships where you may be with someone, but you just have this need to be right. But really, it's never about you versus you. Ideally, in a relationship, it's about the two of you versus a problem. Hopefully, the two of you should be working together to understand what's going on so that you can work together to come up with a solution so that both of you feel good. So I want you to keep that in mind this week. It's not you versus this person. It is the two of you versus a problem. And if you can think of it that way, it'll really change the way that you interact in this like fight or this conflict or this altercation. You will have a different attitude about it. There will be more compassion in the way that you respond. And you will just be more gentle and loving in all of your interactions. And really that is the key. And like I said, sometimes that can be really hard, right? When people say things to us that hurt us or upset us, we can really want to lash out and be cruel and evil and say shitty things and cut them down to size and teach them a lesson or get revenge or any of those things. But those things never make us feel good. They never do. What really makes us feel good is like rising to the occasion, being the best person that we can be, and doing all that work to implement all the lessons we've been learning as spiritual beings into this difficult situation. Because what's the use of being a spiritual, evolved person if when the shit really hits the fan, your tools are nowhere to be found? So I just really want to encourage you this week to like take a breath if someone says something shitty to you. Remember that it's not about you. We are still in Mercury retrograde. It is not about you. Don't take this stuff personally. Ask yourself, what could this person be going through that maybe I have no idea about? Can I have more compassion? And how can we look at this as us versus the problem rather than me versus you and I will win at all costs? Because I promise you, even if you win, it's not going to feel good. So hopefully that helps you out this week. Finally, our third card of the week is the 4 of Swords. And the 4 of Swords is the card that's like, bitch, take a break. Just chill. Just chill. The 4 of Swords says that you have been working your ass off. And I know this from all of our other cards from the past few weeks. You really have been going for it. You've been putting your energy into it. You've been fully focused and diligent and killing the game, which is so beautiful. But this is the card of like, it is totally okay for you to relax. It's okay for you to like turn off your computer. I feel like no one turns off their computer anymore. Like, it's okay for you to turn it off and like put your phone in another room and be like, I'm not answering any emails today. Like, it's okay. I don't need to do that. The challenge in this card is to really allow yourself to do that without guilt. And if you're in the vortex, I recently released a podcast about creative restoration, which was literally about going through the launch of the vortex and how I felt like I had given birth to a baby and I was completely exhausted, and allowing myself to just chill, which sometimes meant like lying on the couch watching reality television and kicking my legs around for like hours at a time. And sometimes meant just like taking a bath and not being responsible. And that's okay. We have this idea that we should be always productive, always creating something. And not just creating something, but like creating something for public consumption. And it's bullshit. It's like a capitalist myth. You cannot be creating all of the time. You need those periods where you are not making things, where you just live your life and you're in the world and you get that inspiration refill. It is so important that we do this. So that is what this card is all about this week. It's like, honey, you need to give yourself some time to like enjoy your life, soak up the juice of everything, have some adventures, go do something ridiculous and spontaneous and have fun. It is so important that we make having fun our spiritual practice. The other thing this card is telling us is to stop worrying. Stop worrying. It's not helping you. It's not going to get you to where you want to be any faster. In fact, it is praying for things that you do not want. So stop worrying. And if that's very, very hard for you, try tapping on it. And alternately, spend some time thinking about how far you've come. I want you to actually think back to this time last year. And if you're on Instagram, you can go to the create thing in your stories and hit the archive, and it'll bring up your posts from a year ago. And just look at those and marvel about where you were this time last year. What were you going through? What were you struggling with? What shitty choices were you making? Because I'm sure you made a couple. I know I certainly did last November. So I want you to really take stock of how far you've come, because if we don't ever stop and think about that, it's really hard to feel motivated to keep going. So in addition to just like resting, give yourself a pat on the back for all of the amazing things you've achieved in the last year. Like 2019 has been so intense. It has felt so long. I can't even begin to get over how many things have changed and evolved and blossomed and flourished in this time. Like, it's wild to me, and I know that your life is the same. So take some time this week to just review that stuff and like make peace with it and be thankful and even congratulate yourself. Have a little celebration, because you're that bitch. It's true. This is a tapping on being a badass bitch. So this is a really good one if you're ever just feeling a little bit low energy, you're doubting your inherent power. Maybe you're gonna go to a job interview or you're going on a first date or something where you just really need like, woo! Come back to this one. It's gonna really serve you well. So just do what I do. We're gonna start on the top of the head, just tap on these points and repeat after me. I am such a badass bitch. It's inherent within me. And even though I might not be feeling it right now, I know that my bad bitchness is always there, percolating under the surface. It doesn't matter what's going on in my life. This part of me is ever present. And whenever I am feeling doubt about how truly awesome I am, I will run a mental inventory of all the ways that I am awesome. I will think about how I show up in my life, the ways that I help the people I care about, and the ways that I am healing myself. I will think about the bravery I have and the courage that I exhibit, even when things are really hard. I will think about the love I show to other people, the ways that I am happy to help them, and the ways that I show up for myself. I will feel appreciation from my body, because even though it isn't perfect, it's still a bad bitch body. I will show appreciation from my mind, because even though sometimes my thoughts go rogue, generally I know that it is only trying to help me. I will be thankful for my creative mind and all the amazing ideas I have all the time. And in my moments of doubt, I will channel my favorite bad bitches. I will ask myself, what would they do in this situation? Maybe they would dance on top of a table. Maybe they would do a striptease in the mirror. Or maybe they would just stand up really tall, say, "You can't fucking stop me," and go ahead and devour whatever situation was in front of them. Today, I honor the bad bitch in me. And I honor the bad bitch in everyone. I will smile at the people wearing savage outfits in the street. I will take a moment to think about the people who have inspired me. And I will allow their confidence to become my own. Because I know that the real key to being a bad bitch is simply deciding that I am one. And then following that inspired thought and acting as if. And so it is. Okay, deep breath in, hold it at the top, and let it go. You did amazing. I hope that this felt really, really good to you and that you're like, bitch, you cannot fuck with me. Because they can't. They can't. So go on with your bad self. And this week's homework is to tell us about your favorite bad bitch. Who is it that you think of when you're like, oh, I don't know about this? For me personally, it's usually Madonna. I was actually in the gym the other day and I was working out with a different trainer because my trainer was on vacation. How dare he leave me when I need him? I was working out with someone different and he was asking me to do some stuff that was really challenging. Like, fuck dude, it was tough. When I was exhausted, he was like, okay, 20 more. And I was like, 20 more? And in that moment, Madonna started playing in the gym and I thought, you know what? Madonna would be like, fuck you, I'll eat this alive. And that's what I did and I slayed that shit. So tell us who your favorite bad bitch is. We'd love to hear. Tell us why you're inspired by them. We would love to hear that too. And I will see you back here next week. You're gonna have an incredible week. Remember to be kind, remember to be appreciative of what you have, and remember to rest. You can do this.